everyone, this is Marcelle Allen with Dreamosity, and today I've got a remarkable visual leader and thought leader here with me today, and technically she's a dietitian, but her presentations are so amazing and so useful that I wanted to interview her to let you guys know that she's out there. So welcome, Kristin Hirano.
Thank you.
Of Just Better.
Yes.
The really cool stuff that I've been using. All right, so tell me how you got started building this as a company.
Actually, I was just doing research on fiber products. Somebody asked me a question about fiber, and I'm a huge fiber advocate, high fiber diet. I've been trying to teach people about fiber for decades.
Good.
But somebody asked me a question that I didn't know how to answer. I was just doing research. I can't remember what the question was, but I came across this product that has hundreds of clinical studies behind it. Demonstrating benefit for weight loss, diabetes, cholesterol, triglycerides, and that it's a prebiotic. It said, from what I was reading online, that there was no taste or flavor, and you can cook and bake with it, and there's no side effect. So, right, so no gas and bloating that usually goes along with taking a fiber supplement. So, I contacted the manufacturer, and they wouldn't sell it to me.
Aww.
So they only sell to large, like huge manufacturers, right? They don't sell retail. So the only way that I could get the fiber for myself and my family and my clients was to buy it in large quantities. So I just simply repackage it and I sell it retail.
Wonderful.
So that's the whole story.
Well, and what I love about her product is like even this picture here. So we as Americans, we do not get enough fiber. What is it that?
So 97% of Americans do not eat enough fiber. So you can see my little three guys down here doing the happy dance.
Yeah, so I'm somewhere over here not doing enough fiber because, well, I just don't think Taco Bell and Arby's and McDonald's have great fiber, you know?
Right.
Which isn't where I should be eating anyway. But I mean, I feel like my first 25 years I was very healthy, and these last 10 I've been kind of questionable. But you said something which had an immediate shift in me in how I operated in terms of what I put in my body, about how my large intestine and small intestine are like. Don't you have another picture too? She was doing an example, and we've all heard about dieting and we've heard about different things, but what does it mean? It's not the diet that works. Do you feel? You explain it.
Okay, so kind of the way that I explain the microbiome or the gut microbiome is our intestines are essentially like a long tube or a pipe, right?
But they're not thin or not slick, right?
They're right. They have all of these folds and in fact almost like hairs. They call them villi and microvilli. The reason that we have those is to increase absorption areas, essentially surface area. So all of those folds allow for more absorption of good nutrients. Right?
The good fiber.
Right. And so in the intestine, we have those little folds and hair-like projections. So if we were to cut a cross-section of that pipe or tube, it would kind of be like a cylinder, right? A cylinder. An example of a cylinder is like a stadium, like a sports stadium with a stadium is like opened up on the top, right?
Yeah.
Kind of the same shape. So we think of, for example, Seahawks Stadium.
Is it like 50,000 chairs or 20,000 chairs, something huge?
Or maybe even more.
Yeah, a lot of people can fit in there.
Right. But if we think of the stadium like the inside of our intestine, and all of those chairs, those seats in the stadium are like our zones of absorption.
Zones of absorption.
Like all of those little folds and microvilli in our gut.
Yeah.
So our goal, what we want, is not only to get all good nutrients, diverse nutrients in those seeds, but also we want to get good bacteria sitting in those seeds.
Yeah, prebiotics, probiotics.
Right, so the good probiotic bacteria. So what we want is all those seeds to be full. So if you think of Seahawks fans as the good probiotic bacteria, that's right. We want a sold-out crowd, so that when the bad guys come into the stadium, right, the viruses, bad bacteria, 49ers fans, right?
That's not perfect.
there's no place for them to sit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
so,
we're full. We
right.
got this.
Right, and they're forced to leave.
Hmm.
So that's kind of the theory, a very simplified theory behind.
It can make an average day Jane like me go, oh, I get it. I've got to put different things in my stomach. It can't be just a bagel and a sandwich and you know, chicken. Like, I got to put more stuff in there.
Right.
It's amazing. I mean, what a great visual.
Right. The only way that we're going to get all of the nutrients that we need is through diversity, getting a large number of different types of food in our diet. So I know some people are really feel strongly about eating the same thing every day, or almost righteous about it. You know, they eat the same breakfast or the same, you know, every day, and it's just not a good idea.
It's like they're only filling 200 of those seats.
Right.
And they have all these other empty seats in there.
Right, so no food is perfect, and so that's the reason why we have to make sure that we incorporate a lot of diversity into our lifestyles.
Yeah, so how much fiber should we get each day?
So the goal is 30 for adults.
How much, like, what is that, a banana and some
well,
almonds?
generally, like an apple will have, depending on the size of the apple, so about 4 to 5 grams. That's if you eat the skin.
I don't eat any apples.
Okay.
It's 0 for me.
But and that's something that I do when I work one-on-one with clients is we actually take a tour through the grocery store, and I bring their attention to all the foods that have the highest amount of fiber.
What about popcorn? Is popcorn a fiber?
It is.
I eat a lot of fiber.
Yes.
Or popcorn.
Yes, you get some fiber there.
That.
But even things you wouldn't think about, like avocado. Avocado actually has 8 grams of fiber in an avocado.
A whole avocado?
So, yes, in a whole.
Nice. Probably half.
So, right. But still, you know, there's many ways. And of course, they're all plant sources, right? That's where we get our fiber from. So the problem is that for so many of us, because of the new diet trends, people are trying to eat low carb or high protein or do the ketogenic or paleo. And a lot of times, a lot of our carbohydrate foods and fruits and vegetables are not included in those eating plans.
That's where the fiber is.
That's right. So
fill up those chairs. So I can't eat bread.
You
right?
can eat
Bread's not. That's like the best news ever.
Right? All foods fit. Diversity is important, and if it's not something that you're sensitive to or have an allergy,
but toast with avocado, not just toast.
That's right. Absolutely right. Okay, so never eating like any one thing in isolation. Making sure that anytime you have a meal or snack, there's always a protein, a fat, and a carbohydrate. All 3 components. No matter what. Because again, if you just sit down and have a carbohydrate, if you just had a bagel, your blood sugars are going to spike, right? And then you're going to crash. But you need to incorporate a protein and a fat, which will help stabilize the blood sugars.
So what are some other visual triggers that you've found helpful for people in terms of just living healthier and be more, you know, healthier?
Yes, so one of the questions that I get a lot, because the product that I have developed is a prebiotic supplement, meaning that it's a food for the probiotic good bacteria in your gut. So people ask me, so what's the difference? So this is
I love the visual.
little
Look at the
graphic
visual.
that I've come up with. But essentially, the bacteria, the good bacteria in your gut, those good probiotics here, those are living bacteria that we get from all of our fermented foods. So most people always think of yogurt and but also like sauerkraut, kombucha, miso, and even beer and wine are considered fermented foods, right? So we get good bacteria from those foods. We want these guys to thrive or colonize the gut. The way that I explain it is we want them to take up real estate and make babies, right? So in order to do that, we have to feed them. The food that they eat are the prebiotics. So prebiotics are all of our soluble fiber foods that essentially the foods that we can eat that have the most amount of fiber. I don't know if you can see this on here, but chicory root, Jerusalem artichoke, and dandelion greens. But I don't know about I don't know when most people don't eat those things. But the good news is there's many other foods that have soluble fiber in them, which
like
namely,
garlic, right?
yes,
I can do garlic. I love
garlic and leeks and onions, but also, I mean, most of our fruits and vegetables have some amount of soluble fiber in them, and also our grains, lentils, and legumes as well. So it's important to have both. so that you can get those good bacteria to thrive.
So your tummy is happy and celebrating. It's like when there's a touchdown, everybody's happy, because it's still fun to have a touchdown and there's nobody watching it, right?
Right.
Like, which would be what happens if we don't have the fiber. It's like there's just nothing,
right,
an empty field of
right,
excitement. We want our stomach to be
right,
happy
because and that's the other part too about fiber. Diversity again is very important. In the same way that the probiotics, the good bacteria, it's very important to have diverse sources of probiotic bacteria as well. The thing is that all of those different kinds of probiotic bacteria eat different kinds of food. So simply supplementing one type of fiber isn't going to be enough.
So you need multiple options, and this is just one good option that we can use maybe every couple months and then rotate, right?
Right, or and to try other supplements too. But if you don't think that you're getting enough fiber in your diet through whole foods, which would be the best way to get your fiber, a supplement might be in order.
Yeah. Well, Kristin, I know that you've got kind of an uphill battle in the sense that a lot of people are maybe skeptical at first, or they think dieting's good, and that's what they've been taught, and they, so I really believe that your visuals and your visual aids and connecting the unknown to the known is really going to help you get more opportunities and get more people excited about what's going on down here, because otherwise we just eat whatever we want, and we're not even thinking about the diversity of our body and the fiber that we're consuming. So thank you for doing so many remarkable things. I love the brand. I love you as a person. I love what you're doing. But I want to encourage you to keep using great visuals, because when people have objections, a visual, it's such a great way to just overcome that and help people understand what they don't know. So keep it up.
All right, thank you.
And I always tell everyone who comes here that you can't be remarkable just once. So stay remarkable, which you're already doing, but keep it up.
All right, thank you.
And do hashtag, is it just better on Instagram?
Hashtag just better.